In 2025, I built my entire annual plan inside TickTick, and honestly, I didn't expect it, but my productivity and task completion went up a lot throughout the year. So before 2026 arrives, I want to share this method with you. If you're creating your New Year plan, I hope this gives you something useful to work with. When planning for a whole year, it's easy to overlook something or make the plan unbalanced, so I always start with the main areas of life. I create a list called 2026 Yearly Goals, and then think about two things for each area: where I am right now and where I hope to be a year later. Each area becomes a task with the vision I want to achieve. I also add a tag for each area so it's easier to recognize later on. Then, inside each task, I add the key outcomes as subtasks. For example, under health, I might write, build an early bedtime habit, and develop a workout habit. Imagining what life would look like after achieving these goals gives me a lot more motivation to stick with them. A yearly vision is great, but it needs a structure underneath it. So after writing my yearly visions, I switch the list to the Kanban view. I rename the first section to Yearly Goals, and then add 3 more sections: quarterly goals, monthly goals, and weekly goals. I keep weekly goals at the very front, since it's the part I use the most. In each section, I create parent tasks: 4 parent tasks for the 4 quarters, 12 for the months, and the weeks for the entire year. Then I break things down step by step, from the yearly vision to the quarterly goals, from the quarterly goals to the monthly ones, and finally to what I want to complete each week. I try to focus on actions that clearly tell me, if I finish this, I'm moving toward my vision, and I make them as measurable as possible. For example, if my yearly vision is stay in good physical condition, my quarterly goals might look like 65 workouts and 39 early bedtime days. These numbers make it easier to follow and easier to confirm. But there's something important. I never break down the entire year in one go. Life changes too much for that. I plan each quarter before it starts, each month before it starts, and each week the same way. This keeps everything realistic, not overly idealistic at the beginning and impossible to follow later. And if something big changes, it's totally okay to adjust or even drop a vision. If it's no longer meaningful, there's no reason to force it. Planning without reviewing makes it hard to see whether you're improving or drifting. That's why I turn each quarter, month, and week into a parent task, so I can write the review directly inside the task description. The description supports rich text, so it's easy to make a clean, readable summary template. I usually include things like a simple KISS-style reflection, small wins, habit progress, and how each life area is going. Most of the time, I simply copy the previous cycle's summary and update the content. It saves effort and makes the habit easier to maintain. A question I get a lot. Many people ask whether this will overlap with their other lists. And yes, some things may look similar, but the purposes are completely different. This annual planning list is for the big picture and long-term progress. Your regular lists are for daily execution. And since the tasks inside 2026 yearly goals don't have dates, they won't show up in your calendar or your to-do list. So they won't interfere with your everyday workflow. That's the system I used throughout 2025, and it worked surprisingly well for me. I hope it brings you some inspiration for planning your year ahead. If you found this helpful, a like means a lot. And feel free to subscribe to the TickTick channel for more workflows and examples. Thanks for watching.